All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. We're back again with the with the start. The last game, of course, finished so abruptly. So we're going to start a new game, a completely new game. So we have to figure out who we're going to be playing as. So we've got all the different DLCs installed. The last one, of course, being the Artux and the Wekaris. We've got Return of the Shakturi, so we will actually turn the Shakturi events on. I'll probably push it back a little bit in when it comes in. Factions Quimino and Gizarians are in there as well, and then we've got the Ikaru and Daots in there as well. So we've got the different sort of new factions. But let's go and start a new game. And this in the last game we actually had this sort of spirally type galaxy, which I think is fine. Could go ring nose center, just to keep things sort of more compressed on the outer edge. We're going to end up with just trying to think of the layout that we want to that we would end up having. Galaxy shape. This one's got more of a compressed center. I don't mind the compressed centers, to be honest. Like they're quite fun. This is much more spread out. This is what we were playing. Elliptical is also fairly evenly spread, but this one here you can see is very much compressed. Almost like this, but this one's got even more gaps in the middle there. I think we'll just go back to classic. So classic galaxies have a spiral shape with two large nebula arms winding out. The galaxy core is densely packed with stars moving towards the edge of the galaxy. But the edge of the stars once again packed together to form a distinct outer rim that surrounds the galaxy. So this one does give us like a good combat in the middle here. If we can get into the middle, that would be ideal. And then we have then we have to try to work our way through the outer side. So I might go that way. This one I think would be interesting. 700 stars I think is heaps. That was what we were playing last time, and that was you saw how big that it's a big game. Like even just with 700, and also the 6x6 sectors just give it fairly compact. Let's go across galaxy settings. So the galaxy expansion, what I like to do here is to have young, just so we end up with everyone sort of having a bit of a start. I don't know if I want to do a pre-warp. Yeah, so Union saying I couldn't imagine having a 2,000 star game. Yes, hi John. So yeah, so with the so starting essentially is start with a single small colony and no ships or bases. Build a spaceport, then begin expanding into the surrounding star systems. This one sort of is just gives you a little bit of a head start. Young, you end up having the systems around you, which is actually a nice way to sort of play. That's not saying I almost never play without a 2,000 star game. I prefer the smallish ones, to be honest, particularly because with streaming it's I don't want it to go on for forever. And then you've got like expanding, mature, etc. So I'll go with young again, just so we start off with predefined borders and things. To go into this one, we have to choose a tech level. I'll keep it on tech level 1. Galaxy aggression, I'm going to go with unstable. So what this one does is how aggressive computer players are in the game. There are other factors specific to each empire, but also determine aggression levels, but this setting is a galaxy-wide value. And so restless is what I had on previously. I might keep it on restless. That way we can sort of try to get, still use diplomacy. Difficulty, I'm going to keep it on normal difficulty. And that's what we played last time, believe it or not. This alters the Empire's rates for various in-game factors relative to the player. So factors include colony income, corruption, research speed, mining rates. Let's keep that where that is on normal. I could go to hard. Maybe I'll go to hard and we'll sort of see how we go. Hostile rates. Actually, this is not what I had. I think I had this. I think I had it on hard. And what I had was the hostile races near the player. I had set to extreme. Well, let's do that again. But maybe we'll put this one back on normal, but we'll go with the hostile races on extreme. This is why we were surrounded by bugs in the last game. So we had a lot of problems at the start of the game. And if we go unstable, I'll go restless, normal, but extreme there. Yeah, do we want to go that way? I'll go that way, otherwise we're just going to be defending the whole time. So, but I could make it hard. It even includes weapons targeting and countermeasures. I'll keep the actual difficulty of the game on normal, I think, but we'll just go this way in through here. That will be okay. Research speed, I'm going to go with normal there. I do often like slow, but in that last game, that felt good, and I think I may have had that on slow. You should normally have it on slow. I'll go that way. So only next project's visible, and we'll go with random research paths, so we don't know what we're going to get. Allow tech training will be on, so we'll go that way. Threats, I'm going to go pirates with, I'll go with very many pirates and strong, so we'll end up with heaps of them. Pirate proximity will just be average. Once they are killed off, they stay dead. Space creatures will just be on normal, so we're going to have a lot of pirates at the start of this one. Then we've got the colony prevalence will just be on normal, I think. The independent colonies, I'll keep that on normal. The influence range, this is your borders, and then the colonization range limit, I'll halve the default down to 150, just so we have to be aggressive if we need to expand beyond the 150 range. Your race, now we have to choose. What we might do is choose randomly initially, and if we don't like it, I'll then just come back and redo it. You can sort of redo these fairly quickly. Empire name, you don't know what that's going to be, so we'll just leave that one where that is, but then we might come back after we do a start. I'll just go homeworld situation random. The home system, I'm tempted to put that onto trying. I will actually. The fact that we've, I wish that there was more in here, like with what it actually does do. Actually, I'm on YouTube, I think. I've just double checked that YouTube is actually firing up for me. Just want to make sure. Yep, no, that's okay. All right, so we'll go trying. The home system critical resources, what this one does is whether to ensure a supply of critical construction resources in your home system. Typically, most home systems will be missing some important construction resources unless specifically placed at game start. You can select whether these home system resources are guaranteed. So I'm going to only have it there for a pre-warp start, which means that we're not going to have it. Expansion will be also on young, or do we want to go starting? I'll go young. So I'm the same as the others. So we start at level 1, and we want to go to the inner core, deep core, in the middle if we can. If we can sort of start in the very, very center. That doesn't guarantee that you're going to start there, by the way. Other empires. We'll just go with 12. Is 12 enough? Yeah, I'll keep 12 on. That'll be okay. Victory conditions. So 70% is the actual. This is the. I'll keep that on 70%. So territory. This is the. Select any combination of territory, population, economy, or race-specific victory conditions at the left. Then select the percentage victory threshold. This is the proportion of the selected victory conditions that must be met for victory. So we've got 75% in through there. It's a maximum. Yeah, I'll leave that where that is. We've got the race victory conditions on. I do like those a lot. The start year, we can actually limit it by years, which I never recommend putting that one on. The general story events, pre-warp home system, abandoned ships, abandoned bases. Major threats includes the Hive and abandoned planet destroyers. We saw them in the game, but we didn't actually really use those. And we've got the planet destroyers and other large ships for each faction. Yep, so note we have to have these on for the Return of the Shakturi storyline. So Return of the Shak storyline, if you turn them off, you can then form your own alliances if you play a peaceful faction. I'll go with just when they come in normally. So we'll play with them on. That will be the end game that we then end up playing in this particular run. Race-specific story events, I don't like these, so I turn those off. And colony events, disasters and random plagues, I'm going to turn them off as well. These are things that I don't really like. If you use the race-specific story events, what that does is essentially it ends up with a like quests that you've got to do. So Falcon's saying don't make it too hard start up. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go with it. We'll start the game. So we don't know what we're going to be playing as. Now, if it's going to be... I've got certain factions that I just really don't like playing, so I'll probably end up only having like a handful that will actually go to try to play. But we'll see what we end up with. and see where we are in the galaxy as well. There's a few things. I'll just go through what I look for when I'm starting a game. And depending on who we end up with, we will then sort of rethink it through. Now, this is playing as the Daots, the surveillance oligarchy, where the Daots are typically aggressive and unreliable. Daots have natural skills in hyperdrive research, war weariness reduction, and ground attack strength. Our leader is skilled in colony ship construction and bombardment resistance. Our homeworld is Belida 1 on the desert savanna planet in the Belida system. Nearby is the rocky silicon moon of Gihalf. We also have another colony, the desert savanna planet of Vogogoth 2. Level of technology is expanding, so we can just get started here. I'm just going to quickly go and, well, actually we start off on paused. All right, let's have a look and see. Okay, so Union is saying, who don't I like? The Teekans. The Artooks I probably wouldn't have wanted to play, to be honest. That would have been very, very hard to play as them. Who else don't I like? The Harkonish is one that I do want to play, but I just don't like playing them at this stage. I'm waiting for them to be worked on, so that's going to be one of the factions that will be expanded upon at some point. Who else? Even the Mortallans, actually, I find them so hard to actually get ahead in the game with. I find it really quite difficult. So we do actually have a presence in around the place and through here. The Xenox, no, I like the Xenox, actually. The new Xenox are really, really good. I like them a hell of a lot, actually. They've gone from my least favourite faction to one of my absolute favourite factions. In fact, we could play as them. You know, like they're an interesting faction. So that's the system we've got. We are right in the core. I mean, this is an interesting start for us here. But I could certainly play. The new Xenox are great fun. So, do you guys want me to play as the Xenox? Shall we start again and actually flick the Xenox on? Like the Daots are interesting. They're quite cool the way that they sort of do work. But the Xenox are with the new flesh is it's a good spot here. This is very, very good in terms of the starts we end up having. So we've got a bit of things in through here. With Daots, we have to have a spy squad. Yeah. Play Xenox my vote, says Falcons. Look, I'm happy to do that simply because it has been fleshed out recently. And so it does have like new abilities. So let's go back out and do that one. We'll just go exit to the main menu. One of the good things about this is that once you've got your setup, it will remember what your last setup was. So if you just go to start new game, unless there's been like a major update in the way it works. So we'll just go back to that one through there. Again, it's remembering all of these settings, which I'm actually happy with. Then we've got the... I'll keep that one there. We've got lots of pirates, so we have to contend with those. Race, so we'll keep that one there as well. And now we'll go... The one thing it doesn't remember is where the start... Actually, does that before that? No, we're okay. So we'll play as the Xenox. And if we have a look at this, I'll just go through and explain who these are before we actually get into the game. So these are sort of like cat-like or feline creatures that like ice tundra worlds and ice worlds as well. So they have like a preference for their suitability towards those, which does allow us to expand relatively well in the game because there are ice worlds that really nobody else can get hold of. And so we can get expansion usually playing as these. When we have a look at their personality types, they've got their aggression is neutral. They're very, very cautious, which means that they sort of, I guess, are conservative in the way that they then approach diplomacy and those sorts of things. Reproduction rate at 5% is actually low. It says moderate there, but it's sort of more on the low side. The assimilation rate is adaptable. These are actually fairly easy to switch to your side, so which is not a problem for us because we're starting off as them. The bonuses we have shield recharge rates go up. The shield's research is also, we have a bonus with that one. Now this recharge rate of 10% means that our shielding is very, very, very important to us. And so you'll see this as we sort of get into it. Espionage goes up, counter-espionage goes up as well. PsyOps is very high. Exploration time reduction is high there. Survey time reduction is... This is actually also something we can do very... Our ability to survey and actually do the initial expansion. This actually is it doesn't seem like much with this plus 20%, but this actually makes a big difference. This also, the hyperdrive accuracy of plus 20%. This means we can actually bounce in much closer to attacks than other factions, which means we can sort of start we can actually sort of do almost surprise jumping in on top of things very well. Bombardment resistance 25% and ground combat resistance 25%, so we're good at defending as well. The special features, we have built-in stealth. Most hulls for military ships and bases have plus 10 stealth. Ancient star charts, so exploration ships scan and survey 20% faster. All ships have 20% better hyperdrive jump accuracy, exiting their jumps closer to the target at foreign locations. Now this is big. It actually doesn't seem like it's a big one, but it actually really does work out very well. These are like the historians of the galaxy. They're sort of like their backstory. Wonders of the past. When a ruin is investigated, there is a choice of 10% Empire happiness or 10% all research for 1 year. This is also very important because it's going to allow us to skip into research areas that we may not have access to, and so we have got to be mindful of this. And when we do the investigations, it's going to happen at the start more than at the end. But there's certain research we're going to be wanting to get, and so that will be, and we may not have access to it at the start. Hopefully we will, but we'll see how we go. Predictive history. When a ruin is investigated, it can choose to get improved diplomacy and intelligence for 2 years, but at the cost of reduced research. So we can actually go and try to get enhance our actual our diplomacy. Preserve the ruins. When establishing a new colony at a location with ruins, there is a choice to convert the ruins to a free governance facility to keep or keep the ruins, but with increased bonus levels. So we've got so when we find ruins, we make better use of ruins than anybody else. Subterranean crisis. All planetary facilities have 25% bombardment and ground resistance. Search the archives. So can pay to perform a thorough review of all data in the Xenox archives. This review will provide a random benefit, a short-term boost to happiness or research, or even the coordinates of a specific galactic location. So again, we are researchers. We're historians. We look at ruins. We're archaeologists. Essentially, sort of like who we actually are. Unique leader traits, archivists, so we end up with potentially getting all research and through this other side, which would be good. We get at the expense of diplomacy. So these are just the leader traits. I won't worry about those ones through there. We do have unique spy traits, which are secretive, again for counter-espionage and concealment. Acquire when we intercept an enemy spy. The colony growth resources, if we can find Kasoti, which is like a luxury resource, we can get plus 7%. Starting research, that's not going to really worry us. The specific Xenox tech, we have a super long-range scanner. So we do actually have access to a long-range scanner, as long as we can get to the research level to be able to then go and research it. So I don't think we start with that. We've got super stealth, the extended range crystal sensors. The crystal sensors are also very important. So our scanning is also very good. Megatron shields is extremely good. The Starbeam is great. So we've got some really good stuff with our actual tech. Now this means that we don't get the normal long-range sensor because ours is better. We don't get the Thuon beams or the Shadow Force beams because the Star beams are better. The shielding, we miss out on all of the basic shielding because the Megatron shields are better. All those different sorts of things. And then we've got the Megatron shield generator Mark 2 and 3, which essentially replaces the planetary shield generator back in through there. What we need for our victory conditions is to control the most ruins in the galaxy, explore 100% of the galaxy, build the galactic archives at a colony, lose the fewest ships and bases in the galaxy, and lose the fewest troops in the galaxy, which is the way I like to play the game anyway. So this is sort of stuff that I like to do. Now, preferred governments, we've got monarchy and technocracy. It's actually more beneficial to choose monarchy for the Xenox. I don't like what you can do is cheese the game when you play as these guys and start off as a monarchy, then flip to technocracy after you get the planetary abilities of the monarchy. But I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just play whatever we end up getting. I might leave that random and just see what we end up with. Allowed governments, we do actually have a few others there as well, but it'll choose one of those two, I think. Additional intelligence missions, so we've got character defection, got destroy facility, and we have infect colony with the plague. So we can do those as intelligence missions that the other spies can't do. Default infantry is not super strong, so it's pretty weak really. Most like factions, the Quamino is the one we like the most. I really wish that they would change this into just one big long list of all the factions. It almost is for us, but you can see through here we don't like the Dayots of Boscara, -50. Now this is actually not a screaming dislike, it's just a mild dislike of those two. The Dayots and Boscara, the Nextilians, Harkonish, Mortlands, Keterov and Gizarians and Slukans are all sort of basically in that area as well. Let's go across. So what we're going to do here, I'll keep the standard flag, allow any government, just allowed by race, and we'll just go with, looks like we have to choose one of them. If I go with technocracy, we end up with sort of like, so technocratic governments place engineers, scientists, and technical experts in control. Decision makers are selected. I thought I could actually do this one where I thought there was like a random. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to choose one or the other. Yeah, technocracy government types are only available to the Actarian and Xenox races. It's really highly efficient and free from corruption. However, they often enforce tight control over their citizens' behaviour. This loss of personal freedom can sometimes lead to unrest. So we end up with population growth goes down if we choose this one, but we end up being a much more closed society. So the counter-espionage, all research, high-tech research all goes up. Happiness goes down a little bit because they're suppressed. It's an autocratic government, but just governed by the technocrats. So it's the colony corruption reduction back and through there. Mining rate goes down. But we do get different chances for ambassadors, admirals, etc. If we go back to monarchy, we'll sort of see there that war weariness, it allows us to go into wars more readily. Counter-espionage goes up. Happiness goes down a little bit. High-tech research goes up. Okay, so yeah, let's just read a few more of the comments in through here. So, hi, D'Amelio. Do that, please. I don't know which one you mean. Sorry, I didn't see you. Look, there's about a 20-second delay as well from commenting, like from what you get to see. So, when you say do that, I don't know what you're referring to, so please expand on that. So Mr. Avento saying, hey, I really like everything you make, but I find it difficult to find playlists of the series you're doing on YouTube. Do you add videos? I should. People have been asking me for this, and I will start to do this, actually. I just haven't done it for the last run, for the last Distant Worlds run. So I'm going to start to try to get that managed. And is that my system? I'm not sure, again, what you're referring to there, sorry. So, where we got? I used to list, I used to dislike the Xenox until they've been reworked. So Salamon's is saying, I think the Dara was saying do that to changing over to a Xenox play. Oh, Xenox, okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I've only just looked across now at the chat. So okay, we are playing Xenox. So Xenox is a new one, and I'll just let the Empire name come in randomly, I think, for this one. Do we want to change that? I don't know. Anyway, we've got so the monarchy. We end up with like a flagship. We can designate one military ship as your Empire flagship, which we didn't do in the last run because we were playing as the. I think we were playing monarchy in our previous run with the Wekarus, I think. Yep, so we've got those in through there. If we go to technocracy, I really want to play between one of these two. If I play refugee fleet is really hard, so that's going to be sort of where the so as Amanda saying, Xenox seems busted on slow tech, but slow tech feels necessary. Yeah, I think look, I'm happy with slow. We'll see how we go. I don't know what you mean by busted. I've certainly had fun as well. So yeah, so we'll see how we go. With the refugee fleet there, we're not going to play as that one. The other ones, I do have these available to me, but the monarchy and technocracy are the other ones that typically these will be. Do we have a preference of how? Do you want me to play as either one of these? Like the technocracy is more sort of defined as a bit of a something that's sort of a bit of an unknown. What I can do is, actually I could just use a coin flipper. If on, so I was going to roll a dice, but you guys can't see that. We could do a coin flip. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll leave it on this one. Just go back across. Coin flipper. All right, so what we can do through here is flip a coin. So we've got so what we can do, yeah, flip it. All right, we'll go. What we'll do is if it's going to be tails, it will be a monarchy run, and if it's heads, we'll go with technocracy. So here we go. Flip again. What will it be? Monarchy. Okay, we're going to play monarchy. So that will be the what we do. All right, so we'll go with a monarchy run. What this will do to our actual play is it will mean that we're going to struggle a little bit getting our all research up to the level that we're going to need to get the better long-range scanners. We need to get those long-range scanners. So that will be our initial targets will be to try to get our research abilities up. If we end up in war, which we will, we're going to have a much easier time of being able to stay in war than what we could as a technocracy. Yeah, everything else is actually fairly good through there. I won't go through these. We do end up with being able to build a few more ships than what we had. Again, flagship is one that I just didn't do last time. I'll probably wait until I've got something a bit bigger before we sort of do that one through there. Yeah, it looks like Falcon's saying looks like a struggle for money with corruption / unhappiness. Yes, yeah, that's actually, this one does open up the colony corruption reduction, so we get with more corruption. If we go back to technocracy, for example, the mining rates go down, the happiness is even worse, but we don't actually have the corruption. So the corruption is actually, it's a fairly big one, like for monarchy, like the negative 10% actually can be, that can be worth a fair bit of money overall. But anyway, let's just see how we go. So we'll go in starting position. Again, we're going to, this is the one thing that doesn't change. I wish it did, but it doesn't remember what you chose last time. And so I want to go deep core again. So I'll just go that way and we'll just go to other empires and start the game. So we'll go with victory threshold in through there. Territory, yeah, I'll just keep that one all going there. I'll just start the game. By the way, the Gizareans that won the last game, that's typically, they are the ones that do accelerate quickly away from the blocks and get a essentially an unassailable lead. Like it's there's probably a bit of balance that needs to be done with those. As I said, you often sort of read comments that people say, yeah, Gizareans just run away with the game. So here we go. I'm not seeing any sort of borders in around here, so it looks like we're maybe in the middle again as well. Okay, so a faction is known as the Xenox Noble Houses. Our government is a monarchy, and we are the Xenox. We're typically very careful. Xenox have natural skills in shield recharge rates, shield, yes, blah, 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 all those sorts of things we saw before. Our leader is Mishku Cerebi, a skilled in colony happiness and faculty facility construction speed. Our home planet is Ikuro, an ice tundra planet in the Asara system. Nearby is the frozen gas giant of Asura 6. So it's frozen gas, unfortunately, so that one won't be a refueler. I like having, the closer the refueler is to our home world, the better. We have 2 other colonies. We've got 3 colonies in total. Ipolagogus and Cronus 3. So let's just get started. Contact with Cronus 3, an independent colony. So that says we've got 2 other colonies. It's and Atalanta, an independent. So it looks like we've got a couple of independent colonies of Xenoxes. I don't know what Cronus 3 is listed there and there. That seems to be a bit strange. Let's get started and see what we end up having. So you can see there Cronus 3. This will definitely want to come across to us. Oh, perfect start again. Perfect start. I love this. So this is our homeworld. We'll just go through sort of how things work. I'll just dismiss that one. Independently, Xenox at Cronus 3. Yep, so blah, blah, blah. Initial communications have gone very poorly, but we'll start to have a bit of a look at that one. And then we've got independent colony of Xenox at Atalanta 3. So this is awesome start for us because it means that we're ultimately going to go and get these at some point. Initial communications have gone very poorly. It resulted in causing great offence. The colony has unique features that provide bonuses, like we can end up with +7 scenery. Research projects are available in a tech tree that increase our understanding of the Xenox. Actually, they're not anymore because we are the Xenox, so we know exactly how to talk with other Xenox. So we'll dismiss that one, and it's going to pour straight away. When you've often got messages on the side, it will then sort of show. A new emperor appears. So we've got Mishku Cerebi has appeared at Ikaru. Just dismiss that one through there. Because we start off with a bit of a pre-start, it does allow us to sort of then have, we've got sort of like the starting points of our economy. We've got the initial spaceport has been built up. What I like to do is resource shortages aren't terrible, but we're going to need to defend against these mountains of pirates which are going to be everywhere. Let's have a look and see what's around us to start with. So we have the Asura system. And that's okay. Have a look. There's the Atalanta system back out there. Cronus, not seeing the independent world here. All I'm seeing is really this world here, which is actually part of our group. So I think one of those is basically started, like this was supposed to be independent, but it was then given to us, which I don't mind. And we've actually started off with a star base there as well, a new spaceport. So all we've got here is just constructors and stuff like this. I can't see any other start. There's a resort base there as well, which has sort of been set up around this particular one. This is the one with the location bonuses there. So we're getting scenery from the ice caverns. That's all okay. Got 10 Empire bonuses from Kronos 3. So that's interesting. We've got a this one looks like it's got the resources don't really matter that much. I think that's what's showing there is the bonuses we get because of the Xenox are there. It looked like there was essentially the ability to build a research station, but I don't think that's the case. Yeah, no research bonuses there, so we can't build a research station there. We'll be looking for research stations as well. So that's what we have, and then we have the Sengi system here, where we've got like 500 million people, like 500 million at this location, back over here as well. So we've got this planet doesn't have anything going for it really. This one here, again, just happiness, population growth, from resources. Yep, that's okay. Again, just from the Xenox. So that's actually that's fine. These are this is like a bit of an this is a much smaller grouping that we actually end up having through there with what we have. Let's just do a quick rundown of what we have available to us. We've got mining stations back out here. We're going to have to now defend 3 systems. We're not seeing any pirates. We do have a refueler out there, which would be typically a pirate refueler. We've got a refueling point out this way as well, which we control. The only 43 million on Xenox on this particular world. So this is this essentially will ultimately become one of our worlds, but it's only a very, very small. It's only an outpost really. That's a shame. It sort of looked like it was going to be something that was going to be viable. Got 1 location bonus, just scenery there from the ice caverns. The colonization chance success. I'll wait for that to be 100. That will change over time. But what we need to do is initially, because we're playing with extreme pirates on, we're going to need to defend. And so if we have a look and see what we've got available to us, let's have a quick look at our tech tree. So it's wanting to build the hyperdrive technology, the Jerax hyperdrive. You can see 42 years for that one. It will change slowly as we sort of start to move through the game, but that's something that's going to take a bit of time. We do actually have the Star Beam already available to us, just a small and medium. Then we'll eventually go and get actually it's still small and medium there. That eventually will go to large. So we don't need to worry about those. We don't get the Thuon beams. That's a replacement for those. So if we have a quick look at what these ones do, if we look at the Shots per volley. So yeah, the medium is essentially just 2 of the shots coming from the small. So if we have a look at the small, we've got 2.3 damage per second, and then 1.4 at maximum range. It does do some bombardment as well, with what it actually does get up to. Countermeasures. There's no sort of real. The range is 1,000. The speed, yeah, that's okay. Firing rate every 7 seconds. Intercept fighters and seeking is 8, which is not fantastic, but that's okay. Intercept range of 500, so it's half for trying to intercept against fighters and seeking. Intercept targeting 10%. All right, so then 1 shot per volley. So that's going to be our main weapon that we'll use. I will use that one. We do actually have the small iron cannon. As we come back through, just look at more of our unique type stuff, I think. Won't worry about those. So this is the ultra fast recharging. This is the Megatron shield. Now this one here, we don't actually get access to the other deflectors. So this is the standard deflectors, the deflection shield generator. And so our Megatron shield here is going to be sort of better than even the next rung across. So the shielding rate that we have here is very, very good. If we just can even compare it, like the right-hand column there, to size 18, this is size 15. So ours is a little bit larger. We've got the shield strength of 270. This one here that they have is 192. So we've got like nearly 80 difference. The penetration chance 20%. Ours is penetration chance of 20% as well, which means that 1 in 5 shots will bypass the shields, which is a problem. The penetration ratio 40%. Theirs is 50%. That means 50% of the damage into theirs will then bleed through onto the armor. So we will need armor. Like it's not very reliable. If we go back to this one here, it goes down to 10%. So that's actually something we will be wanting to do. So that will be 1 in 10 shots will then get through. For theirs, I know it goes from 20 to 15, like in the next column. So so essentially we'll be a little bit more secure. The recharge rate for standard shields is 0.6 per second. Ours is double that. So we actually recharge very, very quickly. And the recharge energy usage, we've got 6 per second there. Theirs uses 3 per second. So we essentially are using a lot more energy for our shielding, but we are recharging quickly. So shielding, this Megatron shields ultimately are a good one for us when we just do the comparison. So we'll have them on our ships. We need to build up a fleet for taking on the pirates. We don't have much of those just yet. Improved targeting, that's okay. These are the crystal sensors that we end up having. So our crystal sensors have got a scanning power of 150, scan range of 3, trace power through there, jump tracking of 20%. This is not bad. If we go to the improved sensors that everyone else will have, this is only 10, and they have a lower scanning range. So we have higher scanning range coming back in. The long range scanners that we end up having are where? The improved sensors. That's a short range sensor. Sorry, we don't get to do that one. Where's our long range sensors? We have... Oh, hang on, here we go. The crystal sensors here. This is a short range scanner. This is the long range crystal scanner. So this replaces, and we have access to this straight away. This is probably as vital as anything we're going to be wanting to get. The scanning power there is, the scanning range was 100 m. This one here is 75 m. So we scan further at better power. And even trace scanning and jump tracking 20%. The long range scanning through here is 30%. So it's better jump tracking than what they have. But we can then make our crystal sensors go even further. So this essentially not on the ships. These are on ships. These are actually on bases. But this is actually a good one for us to try to get at some point. Now this is going to cost me 200 silicon, 200 polymer. But I want to get this one early-ish. Initially we need to defend, but then we need to be able to spot. So I won't put it into the list just yet. I'll keep the hyperdrive technology there. That's going to be important. What else do we have that's a benefit to us? Then we've just got the diplomacy, and you'll see that we've got the we've completed the Xenox diplomacy. Planetary governance is an important one as well, just to get the corruption down, and that will then generate money for us. So we'll be wanting to get that one fairly early as well. But initially we need to design ships to take on the pirates and to sort of defend against them. We won't have any long-range sort of scanning to be able to do that defence. So let's have a quick look and see what we've got. So if we just go back across into ship designs and just sort by role, which then shows me the 3 escorts and the frigate. Frigates are typically your stock standard sort of ship that you're going to be using everywhere. So we might start with that one. Let's have a look and see what this one's got if we just go to the edit. So one thing I like to have a look at is what's the field of fires that we have. So you can see we've got three weapons on this one. We've got a star beam at the front, we've got a sentinel beam at the back, and a sentinel beam at the front. Now, they do actually have, if we get broadside, we're going to be able to be fairly effective. This one is 120 size. This one is just like essentially we've got small mounts there and a large mount at the front. So we are using the star beam fairly effectively. 3 shields and 1 armor. So that's okay. What size are we? We're 7 off the limits of what we can do with the size. We do have target tracking. This is actually where we excel, is that we end up with very potential to put in like long-range scanners and things into our sensors. So we have more sensors on our ship than nearly anybody else, and so this is quite big. So in this sense, we've got the target tracking system, crystal sensors, and then the countermeasure system. One problem we're going to have is the speed. Our sprint speed is extremely low, and we won't, even though it's showing that we've got a 3rd engine slot, that's not going to really be doable. So we're going to be very, very slow in space, really for a long period of time. In fact, we're probably always going to be slower than everybody else. You can see there our hyperdrive, we're not quite covering the energy requirements of the hyperdrive. Now that doesn't really matter that much, so I'll leave that one where that is. We don't have any more spots available. I think that what they've got in there is actually important, so I'm sort of happy to keep all of that where that is. There's no extra spots on here. We're going to need to get to destroyers, I think, fairly soon as well. These are not going to be able to do much, to be honest. So I'll just change this to also then just do it latest per category and family. Just changing the filtering and then the sorting back in through there. All right, so I'll just cancel. I just wanted to have a bit of a look at that one. For the escorts, let's have a quick look at these. At the heavy escort, I'll just go and edit this one. Again, we're looking at a large weapon mount at the top and then another one at the back. So they've gone with star beam and then sentinel beam going from the front. 2 shields, 1 armor. Only 2 sensors there. 2 engines. This one runs at 50, so same speed as essentially as the other one, which is, I'm happy for them to be the same speed. And again, not much on the internals. We just go and cancel that one. The other one that we want to have a look at is the troop transport. So if we go down into here to the Toledo and just have a quick look at what it's got. It's got 2 troop compartments. Now I don't want the troop compartments. What I want is assault pods. So these actually are size 10. These are size 50. These are almost at the range that they would be. These are only travelling at 33. 2 shields, only 1 sensor on these. I can put more engines on, and really no weaponry other than just a single sentinel beam. So we can certainly, I think, manipulate this particular design. So I'll just go and cancel that one and just do the upgrade, I think. And so what we need to do is we need to try to capture pirate ships. That's going to be fairly important to us. So so Dwayne Clark is saying, I need to start watching these. Finally sat down to dedicate time to learning this game, and dang, it's not my current favourite. It's a very, very good game, though. And Jalella is saying the Xenox seem to be a nice race to play, but I really don't like their ships. To me, they're mostly ugly ships in the game. They should rework that. They have reworked it. They actually have reworked it. They actually end up... I actually don't mind them now. I hated them too. I did hate them. I don't know if you've seen the new rework. These have now been essentially sort of just press tab so I can sort of get down on different levels. But they've tried to change it now to still got the same sort of overall feel, but the ships themselves now just look a lot more. They've put a lot of work into it. They've completely sort of redone the ships. So the ships themselves actually now still have the same overall appearance than what they had, but they have been completely reworked. They no longer look as crappy as what they did. They were really bad. I really didn't like them at the early start of the like when they first came out. But they have that is one of the reworks was actually the overall look at them. Ship designs. Right, let's start here. We're going to do an upgrade of this. And so with this ship design, this is actually our troop transport. So when we do an upgrade, it keeps the other ones where they were. I'm going to get rid of one of the troop compartments. I have to have at least one. You'll see it's got recommendations. Empire has no supply of carbonite. We're going to need to find that. That's going to be important. And we should have medical capabilities as well, is what it's sort of saying through there, which we don't have, I don't think. It's got medical centre there. Where is it? Medical centre there. This is mainly for looking after troops, so I'm not going to worry about that one. What I want is more assault pods. So if I get multiple assault pods on this thing, what I want this one for is to be able to. Now I've got the 2 reactors. If I ditched a reactor, even getting rid of 1 reactor, actually now sort of allows me to put more assault pods on. So I can put so then we're still under what we needed to do there. So the reactor is fine. Having said that, what size are we now? We're probably going to need to put a reactor on, but again, I don't care much about the jumping. It's more about the movement. So I'm going to throw in an engine. Like these are size 20, so I'll just go and throw in another engine. That's now going to actually that's not actually affecting this at all. About another one. 3 engines. They've got a defect. My crew capability is now too much, so let's get rid of an engine. Actually, I'll come back to that one. The Sentinel beam defense. We've only got the single beam defense there. If I ditch an engine, that will then take it down to about the same speed as the others, which is actually okay. But the shielding and the armor. Still got 1 defect. What's that? It's still crew capacity. Damn it, I don't really want to be squeezing more stuff on this. Okay, let's get rid of one of the shields. That then takes us out from there. And if we throw on lots of armor, what that's going to do is, what the game likes is the external, it likes to have the shielding on the external. So I'll just go and throw one of the shields out there. It's just I don't know why, but the game, it doesn't break it or anything, but it does prefer to have the shielding on the outside and then the armor on the inside if you've got like one of these external bays. Crystal sensors is okay. We'll keep that one where that actually is. So we're at 143 crew capacity. We're at 466. That means I can technically throw on on another Sentinel beam or something, but what's the crew member here? 5. So that would be 5 crew to man that. What about the star beam? It's also 5. Yeah. Well, this one, having the 4 assault pods is fine. I'm actually happy enough with this. So I think I'll just leave this one where this is, and so we'll just call this one the assault transport. Oops. All right, so we're going to have 1 fleet for capturing ships, and eventually, when we can afford it. So we'll save and exit that one. Oh, actually, we'll just quickly go back and re-edit this one. So this one here, I just need to go back through these. So it will be attack against weaker targets will be just neutral, and then cautious against stronger targets. I'm happy with that. A retreat when shields are below 20-50, I prefer that one. So when the shield's below 20 or the armor below 50, invade colonies immediately. Position within fleet with core, that's okay as well. This will upgrade to the largest design for the role. Essentially, it's going to be the for the hull. I'll change that to the hull, so not the largest one. So it'll just keep this till essentially going with this assault transport hull. Other ones that sort of do upgrade to this one. There's two of them in there that have been sort of set up. So we'll just go and save and exit that one. So we've now done that one. Let's go back to the. If I go back to the patrol escort and just go and edit this one and have a bit of a look and see what this one can then go and do. This one has only got like one weapon, which is not fantastic. It does use up all 3 slots there. So I can travel at 88, which is actually a good speed. But we need to hit, we need to be heavy hitting. When the pirates come in, we need to be sort of targeting them and destroying them as much as we possibly can. So let's just cancel that one. I'm thinking we just go with the heavy escort again. And I'll just do an upgrade of that. So this one here has got the, it's got just 2 engines. We do have the star beam and the sentinel beam defense. This is a medium slot, which allows me to put 2 multi-beams on this one. And I think I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to do that, like just put in 2 medium star beams on this particular ship. That means we've got two heavy-hitting beams being directed. The sentinel beams are great against missiles and things, but if I use these in with the frigates, I can have the frigates with the sentinel beams, and then these actually handling other things. That's almost at the limit with what we end up having. Let's have a quick look and see what else we've got. That's all good. That's good. That's fine. Megatron shields with 1 armor is good, and then we've got the crystal sensors, which is going to, if we just get into the sensors, see if there's anything else. We've got countermeasures which will help protect us a little bit in through there. It's funny that it's not showing it when I click on those. It's not giving me the summary. It is with some of these, but not these. So if I go and have a look at the crystal sensors down through this other side, we do get the scanning power. We get targeting of 5 and countermeasures of 3, which is actually good. We've got the countermeasures version 2 there, which gives me countermeasures of another 15. Resource we don't need. Trace scanner, we get targeting of 5, but then we got 15 there as well if we wanted to do targeting. But essentially what we want these for is to, again, just to try to get the countermeasures up. So that's fine, that'll do us. So we'll just call these ones the beam escort. So that will be essentially, it's just like it's not going to do anything against small craft. So again, slow moving at 53. Just go back to aggressive. We want this to be aggressive as well. 2050. The like it's going to go through the latest design for the hull. The beam escort for the hull is going to be the heavy escort. It's going to be the one that it's going to keep on going with. So I'll save and exit. We don't need to use the other designs, I don't think. So we don't have anything of these built at all. I'm just going to change these to manual as well, like for the just for the other escorts, even though I'm not going to change those. And then we've got the frigate. So let's just go back in here and we'll just do an upgrade of this. And again, we've got the 1 star beam with the 2 sentinels, which I'm actually happy enough with. So we've, this one here will be much more of the protection of what we actually end up having. We've got the shielding. We're sort of close to the limits there, but there's nothing much else I would really want to be putting on this ship, to be honest. I'm actually happy with this. So I'm not going to change any of the design of that one. The 3 shielding can be a little bit of overkill. Not that I want to change it, to be honest. I'm sort of happy enough with that. So I don't think there's anything there we need to really fix up. One thing we could do would be to put an assault pod on, just 1 assault pod on these ships, but we'd have to do that at the expense of fuel. At the moment our fuel range is only 172, so it's not really very far. Let's just make this aggressive. 2050 and then upgrade to the hull. So this is going to be our, we'll just call it the Star Frigate or something like that. These will be we'll be using this, we'll just be adapting this as we get new tech, but that's essentially going to be what we're going to be using throughout the game for a long period of time. Interesting that we can put like a long range scanner on these, which is actually, that is really quite interesting to be able to, that's one of the benefits we have playing as a Xenox. So save and exit. So that's now got, that's also now manual, that's on manual. So this is the manual design. I'm going to have to sort of manually change these. All right, let's now go and get our fleet ready. So initially we're just going to go with a smallish defense fleet to really design to take out the pirate ships. So we're going to have to take out ultimately cruisers, but we'll start off with looking for taking out what we think we'll have to contend with destroyers. So if we go across to the military tab and then go to the fleet templates, this is the easiest way to control this one. Oh wow, this is newish. I've never seen this before. That's weird. Wonder when this came in. It's got 5 ships. Defense fleet escorts. I've never seen this before. Yeah, so Von Schwein is saying most ugly ships are definitely the Mortland boxes. Yes, I agree. Pity since they should resemble the most of Klingons. Yes, yeah, I agree 100% with that, actually. 100%. So, okay, so perfection. So what's the difference use of troop transports and assault pods? The actually Solomon's has answered it there, but the troop transports hold troops for planetary invasion, which I'll just read out what he's written, and assault pods are used for boarding and capturing ships. There, that's exactly what it does do. So it's sort of with what we end up through there. So Jalal is saying, I didn't play the Mortlands yet. I will see how they look like. Yeah, they're pretty ugly. They are boxy designs. So that's something I don't know if that will change, but it would be cool if those ships changed as well. They don't look like they should. The Mortlands should be the most powerful, sort of like one of the most powerful factions, and they're just not. They just don't really. They never do all that well in this game. Anyway, defense. Let's have a look and see what we've got through here. Just 5 escorts. Okay, let's zoom back out and just got defense fleet. Edit that one through there. Frigates, destroyers, and cruisers. Wonder what this is. Where this came from? This is. Can I delete it? Yeah, I can. Not sure. It's almost like I can't just delete these. Yeah, this is core. I'll just get it back to what the game normally has. It looks like that's been added in where it's been shown, just like as an example of how you can then build expansion or extension fleets. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go into the defense fleet. I'm just going to go and edit this. I don't have cruisers or destroyers, so I'm going to ditch those. I do need to have some sentinel beams, so the frigate is not going to be. So the frigate is going to be less hard hitting than the escorts. I'm thinking 3 and 3 will be a good number, so I'm just going to go and add in. So this is going to be the Star Frigate, so I can actually be very, very specific, or I can just go to the frigate design, which is going to be my Star Frigates anyway. I'm just going to go and add another item for escort, and I'm going to change this one to the heavy escort hull, which will always be the beam escorts. I could actually just choose beam escorts and Star Frigates and do it and be done with it. And then when I upgrade those designs, I'll keep those designs in there. I might as well just do that, I guess. And we'll make that 3 as well. This is then just sort of putting what we end up having. The fleet engagement range, I want this to start off essentially with the same system. And so this is just the defaults that they end up starting with. Formation very tight. I like that start. I like very tight for these ships. It's actually going to be very, very good. Everything else I'm happy with. We're just going to go up the top. Roles in the fleet are never upgraded, so ship roll up or downgrade is disabled. Yep, trim excess ships enabled. I'm going to disable trimming off. If we overpower a fleet by having that enabled, they'll automatically then get rid of the excess ships, which I don't want. and auto upgrade is I want that one enabled. So that's actually fine. We'll just go and if we just go and close that one. So we've got 6 ships in this one. It's going to cost me 28,000. I've got 38,000 through there. So I can actually go and build one of these right from the very, very start. So I'm going to go and build new defense fleet and we'll go at the home world, at the Akuro spaceport. So we'll go and do that one. That then sort of shows up down the base and through here. So we've got this one through here. I'm going to make this one control group number 1. This will ultimately be our first fleet, like the fleet that will end up sort of as our main fleet, I would guess, through the game. I'm also going to go and build another fleet, or another fleet designed for the invasion fleet. I'm going to copy this one as new, and this will be the assault fleet. So I will actually create like a new type of fleet through here. Assault fleet. This one here will be. We don't need the sentinel beam, so I'm just going to give it. I won't worry about fuel tankers. We'll get rid of that one. Troop transports I'll leave in there. Destroyers I'll get rid of. Frigates I'll change this to escorts. This will be the beam escort. Because the troop transports themselves have got like a little bit of actually, and if I go with, I'm just trying to think of how many I would need to capture a ship. If I go with 3 there as well, and I'll go with the troop transports also of say 3 at the start. So this will be the one that we want to be using through here is our assault transport. So we're being very specific about what we want to do. Fleet engagement range. We go 40. I didn't realise this is new as well. I haven't seen that. The game hasn't updated, I don't think, so I'm surprised to be seeing this for the first time. Again, we're just going to go, these are only going to engage when I really need them to. So I'm going to go with this one. He's going to be like nearby or same location maybe, just to defend it. I think I'll just go that way. And I'll leave the others where they actually are, so that will be fine. So these will ultimately be designed to take on, essentially and capture enemy ships. So I will try to create one of these. I've still got 9,000 left here, so I'll just go back out. Hang on. We still need to go back and edit this one. We want to disable trimming the excess ships. The fleet role, because it's one that we've built, is going to be invade. I will keep that one there. All right, so 6 ships in through there, 26,000 for that one. We don't have enough money. I'll keep that one out of there for now. At the start, we just need to defend, but we'll end up trying to capture. So we'll see how we go through there. So Valana's saying one of the more recent patches added it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't noticed that before. So we'll see how we go. All right, so with that one, we now have the fleet is now going to slowly build up. Let's just unpause the game and see what actually happens here. So if we go back to the first fleet, monarchy. So we end up with the planetary palace, crew systems, air coordinated control. Dismiss that one. We'll offer the treaty. I'm really just waiting for the pirates now. If they've agreed to that, that's good. Now, one thing we need to do is the pirates are definitely going to come. I'm assuming they're going to be coming into here. We want to stop them from raiding our planets. I'm going to go and build troops on this planet. I'll start with, say, 4 or 5. That will then sort of help to protect the planet itself from raids. It won't do too much. So slowly building up these. Hi orangutans, he's saying sorry to see the abrupt end of the last game. Yeah, it was a great series. It was a great series. I will actually put that into a group, a playlist. We've got different ships. They're transporting migrants across to back to the home system. Now we're going to need to find. It looks like we've got resource shortages. If we go and have a quick look at what we've got, carbonite is a problem. Tidarius not really so much. Kaisen crystals not so much. Carbonite is a big issue. If we go and have a quick look at polymer, quite often they're at the same place. So we've got a polymer world here, which has still got unknown items present. So eventually we'll target this. We've got mineral miners working in here. So the exploration level here is low. So hopefully we find that there. That would be the ideal. But carbonite at this stage is going to be the limiting factor for us. And that can be really debilitating if you don't find it close by. So we need to get our explorers will now go across and do better in-depth exploration. There we go. First of the frigates is now completed. Actually, one thing I do need to do, sorry guys, is go back to my automation. Change that one back to default. And then just change the... I'll just pause that for a second while I do this one. Fleets. Yep, I'll just put all those bits on manual at the start, and then I'll come back and just tweak these as required. The game is incredible in the level of automation you can then set up. Again, it is much more like a simulation. So you're not tempted to play the same game map from early on again, but switch factions? Actually, that would be interesting. It would be interesting. Assign mission: build a large mining station. This is why I get them to suggest. This is Caslon. I will assign that mission. I don't want to be building outside until we figure out what's happening with pirates. We've got good cash flow there again now. Propose a gift. I'm going to decline that for now, and build. I'm going to decline that as well. But what I will be doing is I might start to build that second fleet at Cronus. So if we go back across into our fleet templates, and we've got the assault fleet, which essentially is is to take over other ships. We're going to build a new assault fleet at. We'll go Cronus 3 spaceport. So we can only sort of start to build this one. So we've just got like a few heavy escorts being built in through here at this stage. Make this control group number 2. Okay, so that will then slowly be built up. And so that will then hopefully be able to work in with the other fleet and then take on the pirates. So as we get more money, I can then just keep on building up fleshing out that particular fleet. Managing the fleets this way is the easiest way in the game. Oh, there we go. We've come across a beast out here, like a lot of them actually. These are just Gravelexes. Now we're going to be able to destroy them without any real problem. We're going to need a couple of defense fleets though. So we're waiting on the pirates to show themselves. Here we go. Okay, so we have the Evil Outlaws. We encountered a new pirate faction in the Winley system, the Evil Outlaws. This pirate faction is predominantly composed of humans, naturally very hostile towards us, unlikely to be useful allies. And so this is going to be a problem. What they're doing is it would be a shame if any of the ships are, so we can pay them off. The house rule I have for myself is I can only befriend the same faction that we are. And so there is, I know, a pirate group in the game, and I don't know if it's the Evil Outlaws. Anyway, one of them is really, really hard and to go with. What have they got? Basic colonization. This is stuff that we can deal with, like that they don't have that as such. But we're going to reject this deal. So we're going to reject that one. We're going to just say goodbye, and they're going to be our enemy at the start of the game. I will just get rid of them. They're going to be displeased with us as we sort of start to destroy them. Now this is their pirate info. We don't know much about them just yet. They do actually have a restricted trade agreement also with the independent colony. I'll dismiss that one and just see where, like, they will have seen us somewhere. Yeah, I'm not seeing it where they actually are. If I come back in, oh, here they are. Is this ours? Oh yeah, that's under construction. All right, back in here. Just looking for enemy ships. Yeah, not seeing it. I'm not sure where that's actually shown up. Maybe in here. Nope. No, I'm not seeing it. Here we go. We've got a Raiders from Code Rushed. Welcome, guys. Welcome the Raiders. Thanks, orangutans. So, yeah, welcome. We're just at the start of a new game of Distant Worlds 2, essentially. And we're playing with extreme pirates on, so we're going to be trying to defend against those. We've got exploration ships now moving off. I'm going to be wanting to get a lot more of those as well. We're up to 13,000. Let's just go back to our second fleet. And now that we're using fleet in through this other side. So this is cool as well. Top up the second invasion fleet. So I can get 2 troop transports, but I can't afford the third one. So I'm just going to go and do that anyway. They'll just get added to the mix, and we'll just see how we go. Once we get these fleets built, we'll then be able to test them against the... here we go. This is them here. What are we up against? So let's have a look and see what type of ships they're sending in. So they're sending in a fleet destroyer, which has got missiles and a hail cannon, like a this is a what's it called? A railgun. So basically, they're using a railgun in through that side, along with lots and lots of missiles. This is a problem for us because they're going to be able to travel much faster than we are. Like, we only travel at like 53. They travel at 76. So getting close to them is going to be an issue. They're also sending in another fleet destroyer, which will have the same setup there. So that's actually a bit of an issue. So they're going to be raiding this particular mining station, which is on a volcanic planet. I don't mind that so much. I'm not going to be chasing them away from those planets. It's when they come into our home worlds that then becomes a big problem. So I'm going to be wanting to go into here as well and just to stop them from raiding this world by building a few more of what we can afford there. Actually, there we go. We've just got 10,000 now. This is another group. This is actually they're again offering us protection. It's the same group. I'll decline that one. New frigate completed. We'll dismiss that. So we'll have to test our ships against their ships. They will come in a little bit to attack us, but we're going to have to. It's going to be hard for us to catch them. What we have is, if we go back to the second fleet, I can now top that one up. So we'll just top that one up. It's now going to be full, and hopefully we can capture some of these ships at different times. I'll leave that one where that is. Going backwards a little bit in the money, so that it slowly builds itself up. So, yeah, this is now under attack. I'm not going to worry about it. There's nothing I can do about it, so it's mainly the planets is what I need to focus on with these pirate fleets. And then depending on how they attack us, I'm just going to grab a drink of water, but depending on how they attack us is going to be the interesting or the difficult thing. Now there goes we're seeing this Gravelix travelling through space. Dark Claw Mercenaries now encountered. Actually, I should have done previously. So we've now encountered them over here. Again, I'm going to dismiss this. So this is just our pirates. And if we have a quick look and see what they've got. So they're coming in with smaller ships, are they? Yeah, just a fleet frigate there. Have a look and see what their weaponry is. Railguns and fleet destroyer there with lance missiles, so long range there, and another one there as well, another fleet destroyer. So they're going to be raiding in through there as well, so we need to sort of deal with each of these. But really it's going to come down to protecting systems and building up. We need to get a few fleets established. And then we need to test them, so like against individual ships. Discovered items. Now that's another ice world, which there may be ways for us to expand. New escort completed. That's good. Oh, here we go. We discovered the granite chamber of Atalanta, ancient ruins from a lost civilization at the ice tundra planet of Atalanta 3. Our orbital inspection reveals that the ruins are located on the shores of an icy ocean. Should we investigate the ruins? So what this will then go and do, it's going to give us a boost along. At the moment, we've got 42 years to do the Jerax hyperdrive, and so that's going to take a long, long time. If we investigate, actually, I might just go to them. So this is actually the one where there is the 43 million that are actually there. The Scoundrel of Sengi are building a resort base here. So this is so there is a resort base being constructed. Actually, who's building that? Not sure who's actually doing that one. But anyway, that's looks like a pirate faction, I would imagine. So didn't know that they could do that actually. Our orbital inspection reveals that the ruins are located on the shores of an icy ocean. Yeah, I'm going to investigate. This will then, for us, will then trigger different things for the Xenox. So with this one, lost ship location revealed. So in the granite chamber, we've made the curious discovery of a friendly article containing the coordinates of a lost ship, the Tenacious Triumph. The ship can be found at Lacerta 2 in the Lacerta system. I don't know if it'll show us there where that is. So there it is there. So that's Lacerta. So we actually don't know much about it, but that's the actual ship there. So I'm going to find, just while that's actually doing that, let's go and grab one of our pathfinders. So we've got the that one there. So this one is, and I want this one to go across to have a look and see what this one actually is. So I'll just send it out to that location. So I'm just going to tell it to move there. I will put it back onto fully automate as well, but that should then find whatever that is. We should hurry to this location and claim the ship for our empire. These ruins provide the following empire-wide bonuses, so plus 8% war weariness reduction, and we also have a colony bonus there of scenery. We can acquire scenery bonuses by building a resort base here. So we can't actually, I'm not finding research, and we do need to find ultimately research as well. But this is, I'm just going to dismiss that one. I'm just going to pause there for a second because that should have triggered other things for us, I think, where we have other bonuses. But I'm not seeing it there. So I'll leave that one there. Tenor is saying, I trade tech with pirates for reputation until I can make a non-aggression pact with them. Cost me nothing as long as the tech isn't vital. Yeah, I'm not going to cheese the game as such. I think I'm just going to allow the... I want to take the pirates on as... without actually sort of... the house rule I have is that I will make friends with Xenox pirates, but not with anyone else. So I'm just going to honour that, I think. Is Scoundrel of Shengi one of the construction ships? Actually, yeah, you may be right, actually. It's that could very well be it. Yeah, because that would be ours. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Good call. Good call indeed. That one's actually coming through to build that particular base, which I don't really want it to do, but I'll allow it at this stage. Actually, no, I won't. I'll stop. I'll clear that mission because I would say no. And then we've still got automation, so it'll just go off and do its own thing. Yep, good call, that one. Unpause. Under attack. So we are under attack again by these different pirates. Again, I really need to protect my home systems. Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. So our recent ruins exploration has triggered a renewed fascination with galactic history amongst our people. We can choose to harness this interest in one or two ways. We can either go with empire happiness, which essentially equates to money, or we can go to 10% all research for 1 year. The all research is going to help me a little bit with the hyperdrive, so I think I'll go that way. Although, having said that, getting money will get me established. I might go for happiness. There we go. Predictive history as well. A recent ruins exploration provided us with an opportunity to apply our discoveries here to enhance our empire's diplomacy and intelligence missions, but at the cost of slowing our research. So, so we don't want to be doing this one. The all research going down, I don't want to be doing. I don't care about these other things so much at this stage, so I'm going to do not apply our discoveries. Just go that way. So we'll minimize that, dismiss that one. So we're now in effect with the empire happiness for 1 year, which will then sort of give us money. second is slowly building up. The first is slowly building up. I need to wait until these are built before I can really do anything else. Oh, sorry, I was paused. I want to have a quick look and see if we've got any research locations. Nope, nothing there. Yep, we'll definitely do that one. So assign that mission. Oh, here we go. We discovered at Sengi, in the Sengi system, we've got Shields research. This is what we want. We want to get as many of these locations as we can possibly get. So at the star itself, it does actually have a shield research, and it will actually queue up the research station here. So we'll queue that one up. They're raiding our base. They took money from us. This is what's going to happen, unfortunately. So we will get and like at least this is sort of controllable for us, because we can essentially put in the we can put a fleet at these different locations ultimately. New frigate completed. That's good. And carbonite is going to be the big problem for us. I'm going to need at least 2 actual attack fleets, or 2 of these defense fleets. I'll watch as this one goes in as well. Again, the hyperdrives are very, very slow at this stage, at this early stage of the game. Orangutan saying, although I guess you can't build resort bases yet. No, we can. Yep, we definitely can. And research stations. We're starting off at tech level 1. So we're a little bit into the tech tree. Here we go, we've got 30,000 now. I think both fleets have now don't need to top up with ships at all. Again, I want these built before I really go into anything else. New escort built there. Discovery. Whoa, here we go, here we go. So again, we're actually finding there's a mining station here, but we've just found the that we can actually now build a research station here as well. I will do that, even though it's it makes it a little bit susceptible to pirates. But these become very, very important to us. The more research we can get, the more we can then start to sort of rattle on through. And when I can, I will also go and pay for, trying to sort of get this halved. At the start, because of the way that we're starting, it's very, very slow research at the start. And it will just slowly increase. Another thing I really want to do in the Sengi system is to build a starport. So if we just go back into building a ship or base. If I go and, which direction are we going to be wanting this to go? It's probably going to be from this direction here, will be the important one. So if I just go back into this particular location and do a long right click off in this direction with this planet selected, I should then be able to build a small spaceport there. So that's now going to be building on that direction. New mining station completed, that's fine. Then we've got offer a gift. No, we're not going to do that because we need the money. Dismiss that one. So we're now getting, their first fleet is getting close now. We need one more fleet after this. And what we could then do technically is to even add in troop transports to these initially to make it so we can capture if we need to, but I'm thinking I'll just go with a dedicated assault fleet and through this other side. I'm just going to call that the assault fleet. It's not going to be an invasion fleet. Here we escort completed back up that way. And we do need to find carbonite. That's going to be really, really important. Again, with that one polymer weld, which is sort of vital to us. station completed. Discovered. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Just found it. So we now have found carbonite down this way. Awesome. All right. So that's actually we've now just. I was going to send one of these explorer ships back in to see if I could actually do a thorough search of the system back in the home system. But we now have found it down this other side. New mining station complete down this way. This will be this will now sort of round out the important base things that we end up having. I don't think there's any carbonite there. Where is it? Might be there. Where the hell is it? Is there nothing else there? Oh, there it is. Endoi. So we do actually have. Actually, no, that's not it either. Carbonaceous moon. Where are you? At Fossiloo. Fossiloo 1. Oh, it's right there. Wow, that's in a tight orbit, isn't it? I didn't even see the orbit. Okay, so that's the carbonaceous planet there. So we'll actually construct a large mining station here because that's going to be critically important. Carbonite is sort of used in most of our ship designs. Like if I go into any of the ships that we've got, like in this fleet that we're building up, have a quick look and see what they've actually got through here, like this frigate, for example. If we go back down to the build list, it's sort of used a lot. So we've got 29 carbonite is part of the build that we actually have. So this is what we have to build this particular ship. So lots of polymer, lots of steel. We do have a source of polymer, which is in our home system. I still am going to be hopeful that there will be more carbonite here as well, ultimately. What's interesting here, though, is with having a mining station, we'll actually eventually, it will search through the planet as well, and just see if we can find other things. So we may find more sources of it. I'm hopeful. Let's just see how we go. Okay, we've got new mining ships. Stardago saying warps in and decloaks. So welcome. So new mining station completed, back in through there, that's good, and we've got the new escort completed in through there as well. So if we just go across into our first, we've only got one more escort to build under this one, and then that fleet is then done, and then we can look at building a second fleet here, just for rounding off the protections. We need to get enough to be able to take out the individual ships. In terms of the second, we have now built the 3 escorts, and we're now starting to build these small troop transports. Now, seeing the like in both instances, both lots of pirates are using a lot of concussion missiles, and so that's going to be sort of interesting for us. It's going to be a little bit difficult for us to close gaps. There we go. Atlanta 4 mining station under attack by the Dark Claw mercenaries. So that's the Artuk sort of pirate gang. So I'll wait until this one is finished before I then go and build the second or the next fleet. Discovery. This is a luxury resource. There we go. That's our first troop transport done. As an assault ship. Second one done, that's good. Second fleet is almost done now. This one is still finishing off its construction. Mining station has been boarded. So that's just a Caslon mine. Alright, so we now have the first of our fleets. I need to get another one as well, so I'm just going to go and, even without testing how this one's going to go against the pirates, so I've built another one. So if I just go back into my military tabs, fleets, go to defense fleet, and we'll build this one also at the Ikaru spaceport. And that one we do actually have enough to build the whole lot, so I'll now just make this one, this is our third defense force, so control 3. So we'll start to build that one up. And really, we just need to find a consistent location that the pirates will attack. Oh, wow, we're finding heaps of research locations out through here. So this one here, we've got like the shield research. So again, I'm going to build another research station here. This is a great start for us. Finding all of these research areas is going to allow us to move things along pretty quickly. Here comes this Pathfinder moving very slowly. So we'll see what we find here, but this is going to be the this will be that ship that we found from the ruins here. This is actually like our secret weapon type thing that we end up having, is the ability to make use of these ruins. So getting more explorer ships is also going to be very, very important for us. So actually I can now start to build more explorer ships. I might do that now. So if we go across into construction and into build orders, let's go and build. We can build, say, another 4. So they've queued them all over the place to sort of build these up. So we'll purchase those because they really do help us enormously, more than anybody else, having these explorer ships. We get all sorts of benefits from it. Yeah, Jared Lell was saying we could use the assault fleet as, to guard a research station and capture the ships there, or put them on a mining station. The most important thing for me at this stage, though, is to stop them from stealing resources at my worlds. I can afford to give up money, but I can't afford to give up resources at this early stage. I need them for building, and if they, there we go, we're going to colony attack. So if we go and have a look at this, so this is exactly what we need to try to stop. So these guys are coming in to assault the colony. If we have a look at the colony itself, it's got resource shortages in through here. You see how it's got like all this carbonite and stuff? If I don't get a protection group across here, and it's going to be too late for me to reach this one for this assault, so they'll be gone. But we now know that this is where they're targeting, so I'm going to go and grab my first fleet. I'm going to change their base of operation to this moon. So we go into here and change that to be the home base. I'm going to keep it on defend. They will move there. I might just get them to refuel there, or even just to move. I'll go refuel. I don't think we're going to be there in time to take on these pirates. But there's a lot of pirate ships coming in. Now, if they attack this, they can destroy this. Yeah, so we're being targeted here by this ship. But it is coming in to raid the actual planet itself. We now have pirates on board, and they're going to push us off. Just pause again. So Tenra is saying, how do you go about colonising independent worlds? The penalty for invading them is way too harsh. I've got 100 rep malice. Yeah. So I obliterated a planet via bombardment. Only got a -27. That's yeah. I don't know. Like, I don't know why it would be the case that 100. I don't think it's that. It's not usually that much. I'm not sure why it would be that much for you, but it's not that much for me. So normally the bombardment is worse than the invasion, but they're still both bad. So me, myself, and I are saying troop transport, ship type, assault pods, shuttlecraft used to ferry in the troops. From the troop transport to the target. Yes, you need assault pods to land troops on a planet. No, assault pods are not for landing on a planet. Myself, I say, by the way, the game tells you that when designing a troop transport, it tells you that assault pods land troops on a planet. It doesn't make sense. unless that's the method that the troops use, and that may be what they mean. Anyway, I'll just pause and let this one run through. I'll have a look and see if I can see what it says there, because that's not the way it should work. It should be working. So anyway, there's lots of pirates now invading. We've only got really the one defender. So we're going to be destroyed here, but at least we know where they're going to be coming in. And so what we definitely don't want happening is the pirates doing exactly this, because what this will then mean is that we'll end up being sort of really hamstrung at any world that does suffer these attacks. There we go. The troop transport is now done as well. Now this is they took 3,000 credits. That was lucky, but they can take a lot more. They did destroy the force that we had built up. So I'm going to go and build another one, maybe another 2 ultimately. But we need to defend this world. So they'll now disappear somewhere else. We're still building the 3rd fleet up, so it's going to take a bit of time. And I'm going to keep this fleet sitting back here, although I'm going to need this one to also then come back in and help out. So unfortunately we are losing the money. So we've now got a general that's appeared at that location. Not that's going to help us all that much. So we're not going to be able to do anything here. Good. We need more and more of those done. And I need another fleet with this fleet here. Now I'm assuming that at some point these pirates are going to attack this area, and this is not good enough to do anything at all, to be honest. So I'm going to need another fleet, an extra fleet again. And I need a lot more money for this. So off they go. Now where are they going? Let's have a bit of a look. We can see a little bit beyond where they're actually heading. So they're heading off in that direction, where there is nothing. That's the only spot that would be viable. Actually, now we've got this one as well, back over here. So we've bounced in right next to this ship. This is the Tenacious Triumph, which is a destroyer, which is abandoned. So let's go across and move in on it. Move to the Tenacious Triumph. Come on, give me this ship, please. Please don't be a trap. Yep. So this is Dark Claws. It's going to steal money from us. Here we go. Abandoned ship will investigate. And appears to be in good working order. We've bought it and taken control. Great. Because that can be a pirate trap. And I'm now just going to go back to this one. I'm just going to dismiss that one there. You go back to being auto, fully automate, and might as well explore this, survey this one, and then just go back to auto explore. Oops, hang on. Auto, fully automate. All right, so this one here, I'm going to add this one into my first fleet. So this will ultimately be a very, very powerful, this will be a, it's got Accelerate engines. This one will be moving at the same speed as the pirate ships. We do have long-range missiles. We've got the Sentinel multi-beam, iron sheath armor in through there with shielding. So it's got it has a medium starfighter bay as well. So this is not great, but it's not bad. So it's not awesomely good, but we'll certainly make use of it. So I'm going to add this one into join to my first defense force. So we'll just go and add it in there. That will then sort of go back and join the others. So that will be part of the that will then move down into this location. I could actually, what I might do with it is to, if I just press the back arrow, I can then pick up whatever I had selected last time. I can sort of roll through various things that have been selected just by using the forward and back arrow. But if I go and leave that fleet with that ship and then go and add it into my assault fleet, that way it's going to give me a little bit more hitting power, which essentially means I shouldn't have to have another fleet in here initially. which will allow me to build up. I'll still build another fleet because I'm going to be needing the protection, but we'll just let things sort of develop. So it's now moving back to that location. So we have basic defences here, which is not enough to defend against those fleets, but I need to take out individual ships. Now what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to pause again. I'll have a quick look at the ship designs. So with the assault transports, if I go and edit this, so what was said there was troop transport ships, assault pods. If we go to the assault pod, this is assault strength, boarding range, launch rate in. Oh, this is okay. This is so launch rate for invasions is 20 seconds. So it uses these to invade the planet, but it uses the troops. Aha, yeah, that makes sense. So the assault pods are the method of invading. The troop compartments are for storing the troops. So that's actually what that is there. Yeah, that's actually interesting. I never realised that. But if I just cancel that and have a quick look at the at F1, like I'll just bring up the Galactopedia. If I have a look at, I've got like game concepts and stuff. But if I go to components and then go to the assault pods, it will then tell me. So this is assault pods are used to launch boarding parties against nearby enemy ships or bases, allowing you to raid or capture. Note that the target ship. Assault pods also serve as a defensive force if a ship or base is boarded by an attacker. So that's what it's showing us there. But it's actually interesting that it's actually not mentioning the attack ability on the actual planet itself. Let's go to troop transports or troop compartments. See what it says. So it's almost like it's if you had like three troop transports, three troop compartments, sorry, and had a where are you? Troop compartment. So yes, a troop storage component provides living extra facility for the combat troops while on board a ship or base. You must have sufficient troop storage space to contain the total size of all troop units you want to carry on a ship. So you really do need to have, like, to be able to invade quickly, you need to have an assault pod for every troop compartment. That's interesting, actually. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realise that. So I assumed that these actually were the things that initiated the invasion. I sort of always wondered why sometimes there were troops that didn't quite catch up with the rest of the invasion and they sort of arrived late. But that now makes perfect sense. So yeah, it's interesting. Thanks for mentioning that one. Yeah, I know that you needed to have at least one of each, but I didn't realise that was the reason why. That does make sense when you are building those ones. That's not much. Again, these are just resources that we've got. This is the big ship coming back. Oh God, even more. This is such an incredible pocket of abilities that we've actually got through here. So we've got a mining station in through there. Again, I'm just going to keep on pumping out these research stations. This is really good. Like the amount of research stations we've actually found in this little region is extremely good. Exploration ship completed. That's good. So we're now starting to get some of those. So it's four research locations that we can now sort of make use of. So we've got different ships now building all of these. Yep, so we've got 3 construction ships. I might have to get more construction ships soonish, but we'll just keep things sort of moving along. Yeah, it's very, very cool actually having all of those like this. I normally don't find anything like this at all, like for research. So we've been extremely lucky. again, one of the things I love about the game is you don't know what challenges you're going to be sort of dealing with. Are these coming back with carbonite? No, they're coming back with krypton and argon. Yep, so that one's going back off to go to Folloso 2. There goes the that's going off to construct the research station there out there. Yeah, so we haven't got the carbonite mine built yet. So these sort of squarish things are constructors. The diamond ones are exploration ships. We've got to find our neighbours as well. Like who is nearby? We know that we're going with extreme, problems. You frigate complete down through there as well. This is now the third fleet is underway. It's building a research station at Joetis. Actually, what about colonisation? Yeah, we're not finding anything else. I thought there was another one over here that was potential for us. So let things, let them search. Oh, now, what have we found here? Yep, so we're going to destroy our attacking in one of the other locations. There's another ruins there, actually. Okay, the Dark Dagger Guild has now been encountered as well. Let's just see where that actually was encountered. It's not showing me. I'll decline that as well, because of our house rule. Discovered more resources out this way, so again, just more luxuries. Now, this is an interesting one. We've now found another ruin here, and unfortunately, these pirates are stopping us from actually going to it. So there's a ruin there. So this is going to be a little bit difficult, or is it this one here? No, this is the ruin here. The unknown ruins at Wendell 1. These guys are just going to keep on trying to assault my ship while it's in this location. If there is a like one of these like brown dwarfs or a potential Caslon mine, they could have a base here. So this is the most likely spot for the humans to be operating from. So I'm going to actually manually grab this ship, and we're going to quickly race down to here to do a survey of Wendell 1. We do have abilities here. If we have a look at the actually, sorry, let's just go back to this ship again. So I'll just take control of this ship. If we have a look, we've got the advanced survey module in through this other side. It does 15 survey, survey maximum level 25, survey time 110 seconds. We're not going to be able to do that one easily. And then the resource scanner. So we're not going to be able to check this out thoroughly. Just see if we can investigate the ruins here and just get whatever benefit we get from that one. There's more and more ships here. This is now 5 ships coming in against it. I'm thinking that this has to be the base of the enemy. So at least we have found one of them. They'll be then targeting us. Hopefully we can get close enough. I might just tell it to go to here. No, it's escaping. Look, I'll put that one back on. I'll keep it on manual because if I can, it's going to race across to here. If I can get it going back to that to one of these other locations, so it's just sort of trying to sort of keep things out of the way. We've got all these different things happening where they're attacking the various stations and things that we actually have in through here. We're going to be losing money from the mining stations. discoveries down this way. Alright, let's grab this one again and just send it back in again into the Wendell system. Let's try this one first. Let's just see if we can actually do that one. So that will then stop and then bounce in. I need to, and it may be close enough for us to then be able to see if there's any bases on the other side as well. But I'm assuming that many ships attacking me, that is, there we go, new ambassador. Not we've got anyone that we can send it to. We don't know if we haven't met any other neighbours yet. We're at 5% here. There we go, new scientist. So the scientist is here. I'm going to go and send him off to... Actually, we haven't built any of the stations just yet, so I'll just leave him where he is. But I'm going to send him to the station that we build in the Sengi system. So we'll keep that one there. This is interesting. Our borders are extending out. Like we're sort of seeing the, you know, it looks like we haven't come across any other neighbours yet, so we may have the core to ourselves, which again would be a nice way for us to start the game. So what we want to find in here is, you know, is there the pirate base here, which will then make us so that we can then go and eventually do the targeting of it. It could be this one as well. Now pause, and there it is. Right, so we found the home base of those pirates, so they're right there. So it was that one. Let's quickly go back across and we'll just do it. I'll move to the other side and just see if we can just get to there before any of the pirates actually attack us. That scientist will just be on auto. He'll just go to one of the locations automatically at this stage. They're all on automatic. Now has to escape. May not make it. Fleet destroyer after it. Come on, get away. Get away. It's going to have to go back. We're not going to be able to check that one out just yet. There we are. So I'll put this one back to auto. It will then just go back and fix itself up. I won't try to do anything else with that one. But at least we've now found where that base is, where those pirates are from. So that's that is now a known for us. So having the first defence force at Sengi is important. And they haven't really attacked down into here yet. The third is now built. I can't really afford to leave the Asura system. Like, this is too important for me to leave undefended. So I'll just leave that one where that is. Now it's just a matter of building up so that we can eventually, so the economy is now just the process of what we're trying to do. So Fisherman's Friend is saying this is a new run. Yes, we lost the last game. We lost that about 2 hours ago. So that was a big loss to us. So we're starting again as the Xenox this time, in the core of the galaxy. Yeah, but Orangutan's idea of actually switching back using the previous map and starting as someone else was actually, that would have been an interesting way to have tackled that one. Maybe to have gone to the other side of the galaxy and played as the the Actarians or something. So it's still going to take 20 years. But as we build up these stations, it's going to get better and better. It looks like we may actually have a station now established. Yeah, that one there. Oh no, they're still being built. And he's already there. That's all okay. Free trade agreement, so we'll offer that. So they've come straight into here. We've got our guy. So we're coming in now. This is actually going to be the first of the attacks that we where we can try to sort of take out some of their ships. But they haven't taken the scientists, and sometimes they do that. That would be a bit of a disaster if that happened. So first fleet, let's go and see if we can actually take this one out. We'll just do the attack. Nope, it's gone. Look, in that case, the fact that they're going for this, I'm going to set this as the home base. Yeah, no, they all leave. Here comes another one coming in, though. Right, so what do we got? It's going to turn around. It's just going to turn around and jump. It's another fleet destroyer. The range that we've got on our ships is much, much lower. And we're not going to be able to catch it. So I'll just go and tell the first just to go back into here. There's another one there. What's it doing? Yeah, it's going back to its home base to refuel. Alright, so we know where they're from, but we're just not nowhere near powerful enough to take this on just yet. Alright, that's okay. So they're pleased with us. So I'll dismiss that one. Away we go again. So we're now losing money, a fair bit because of the amount of that we've built up. So I really have to now start to kill off ships with what we're doing. Third fleet should be ready to go. Yep, it's now ready. Second fleet is essentially ready. It will eventually correct itself, I'm sure. New admiral has appeared. I'll pop the admiral into the first. I'm going to make it manual. Transfer across. We don't know what skills that one's got. We haven't seen any pirates in this region yet, so it looks like these are fairly safe, just away from this system here. But we're going to need to have like maybe a force 3 times as large in one of these fleets to take out this this base. The base is going to be quite difficult. What about new colonies? It's only low. We do have a 100% chance of success of taking Atalanta 3, but I don't really want to be doing that at this stage. It's going to cost me more money. At the moment, our money situation is not good. So we'll just sort of keep things moving along. And the pirates are just consistently attacking in here. They're loving this mining station. But I don't want to be leaving this planet either. I just want to check out what's going on with these ruins. But again, if a pirate ship, and they will track us down, so they'll actually find us and cause us some issues. Yeah, this is the one with the ruins on board. Wendell 1. Pirate ships have come just yet. Here they come. They're going to stop me before I get there, I think. Here they come. Come on. Get there, get there. 10%, we're down to 10 years now. Oh, here they all come. Come on, just get there and have a look at this thing. This is more important than jumping away. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Oh, escape. I don't know if this is going to even get away from here at all. Oh yeah, it did. Yep, out you go. I'll just let it do its own thing for a little while. There's more here. What have we got here? It's another one. Now this is important. So I'm gonna go and tell this one to go across and move to the fatal leader. So I'll leave that one there, but I will put this one onto a fully automate. The colony is being assaulted, so let's have a look and see what's going on here. So this is the one at Sengi. So we've now lost. I've now put everyone around here for my first fleet away from the location that they're now assaulting. So I'm going to have this one come back in and attack this particular ship. See if we can somehow take it out, if we can. We do have a spaceport, but we do unfortunately now are going to have. We've got two. They've got one that's landed. We do actually have two that can defend now, which is, or at least one fully, and another one. So we'll sort of see how we go here. Let's just unpause. There's the small craft coming in from over here. Now we do have space control because of the spaceport. We didn't have that last time. So that's taken out that a little bit. Here we go. Here we go. Here comes the first. Now we are smashing it with our star beams. It's now running. You know what we need? We need to change this. We need to change it because I'm gonna do a redesign of the ships. We need to disable because they run away from us way too easily. And that one's, they've still got pirates on board there. Alright, so we'll just go back into our ship designs. And really the one, like we got the star frigates, which if we just go and have a look at this one here and edit, just so we can sort of see what they've got. They've got the star beam, they've got 2 Sentinel multi-beam on there, which isn't ideal. If we just go back and cancel that, if we go back to the beam escort and edit this one as well, the medium star beam is size 30. Ideally what I would need to do is put an ion cannon on one of these. This one here. Size 12. This one does give me firepower. I might pop one on the back of the frigate, I think. So let's just go to the star frigate. We'll do an upgrade. I'll just ditch the rear area and pop in an ion cannon. That still works. Everything there is fine. We're slightly behind in hyper jump speed, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll have the ion cannon on this one. So we'll have 1 Sentinel, 1 ion cannon, star beam. So it's going to have to sort of be at a 270 degree angle from the back to be able to then use the ion cannon, but hopefully that will then sort of get through and disable the ships before they can jump. So I'll save and exit, and I'll just go and tell these guys to do an upgrade with those 2 fleets. So with the first, we've now got, it should have, so we're here to upgrade, retrofit. Did I change it? Yeah, Star Frigate version 2. Just let it go for a little bit of time. Okay, so have beaten back, but have withdrawn, and this is exactly what we don't want to have happen. So even though we got rid of them, I wish that they will probably change this when they do the pirate expansion, but they're still left with stuff. And that's exactly what we don't want. The first, this is going to be their home system. Will be this. We'll set that one as now as the home, and I still can't do the retrofit. Oh, that one can. Oh, it's the money. I don't have the money. So I can't do automatic retrofits. I need the money first before I can sort of do anything with that. But once we get the money, we'll be okay. Saying playing Distant 2 the days after Civ 4 isn't fair to Civ 4. Oh, look, I'll be playing Civ 4 equally at this point in time as we sort of move through that campaign as well. Looking forward to that. We've got more and more coming in here. I just can't afford to leave this alone, and we really need to get on top of this cash to be able to sort of keep on moving through. Yeah, we were moving to this one as well. It's moving across. So we're doing an exploration here. I might move this one down to the first fleet, if we can capture this one as well. You can think I was joking because I like Distant 2 so much, yeah. They're both good games, very different. See you later, me, myself, and I. So I'll have to start winding up as well anyway in a minute. Run out of time. Investigate. And ship explodes, which did actually do some damage to our ship. There is debris there. these different locations. Yeah, that mining station we can't do much about. Let's see if we can pick up something from here. No, nothing. All right, back to being set to automate, and it will have to go back for repairs. Yep. So unfortunately, we didn't get that ship. That would have been quite nice to have included with our other ships. There's another. No, it's not. It's just a full-on attack. These are really quite hard. So yeah, that one's not going to do well. With the Necros stone, the constructor was trying to build this particular mining station. But I do have to get going, guys. I'm going to leave it here. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll be playing though tomorrow. So we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I should be back tomorrow. I don't think I've got anything else I've got to do. But I'll see you then. So Star Dagger is saying it's on very early in the morning, 9 in the AM here it started. I'm not sure what's that. Oh, hang on. Muscular Attack saying awesome. Seems like I always miss the live show lately. Yeah, I always tend to be leaving at about this time. This is the time when I go to the beach.